Okay, um, welcome everyone. This is Kobe, and today we are going to do the system design, the market system design, and we are going to do the design a to-do list. And so here's the agenda. You guys can see here. So today I hope that people can be involved for Q&A a lot, and this way we can just try to get more information and we can just learn from each other from chatting together. Okay, I'll just give the time to the mock interview. So let's go to the link here. So the today's interview is I just call you G, okay? GZ. I can just call you G. So
Yeah.
shall we start?
Yeah, sounds good. That's the description here. Yeah, give me 1 second to understand this one. So it's a to-do list. I think everyone used to-do list before. It's like in a Google Doc, right? You can type a to-do, checkbox, and you can mark the to-do is done or like undo the to-do. Yeah. So. But actually, I think we are focusing on to do here, not like Google Doc. Yeah. So from the description here, I can see like one user can create a to-do list, and also for one to-do list, it can has multiple items. So for each item, the user can add an item. Also, the marked item is done, and also you can add more to-do items. And I think maybe we can like a delete item. I should be very various, right? Can delete that one. Yeah. And user A can create more to-do list, or maybe like can delete the list. Yeah, it should be obvious. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, does not impact the whole overall design. Yeah.
Yes.
And also A can share to B, and obvious it can share list to like user C or D, right? Multiple users, like you share a Google Doc to multiple users. Yeah. And I think B can add more to-do items to the list. Yeah, so it looks like, when user A shares the to-do list with B, and B has the permission to, maybe like a read permission or write permission. You can user B can, update the to-do items or change the status. Yeah. So yeah, that's very obvious. Yeah. I think maybe I can add more requirement trying to make the experience better. I would say like regarding the CRUD, we have a create, like
Mm-hmm.
read, delete, and update here. Maybe like for the experience, for example, when A update something, B can see it, like B can see it immediately, just like a real experience, right, in Google Doc. So like A uh, update something, like update
It makes
B.
sense. Have you used the Jira ticket?
Yeah, I used Jira Ticket before. So
Yeah,
do you mean
it's
like
similar. Yes,
have
I think
you?
it's just like you mentioned. If you create a task or create something, a Jira item, and for example, in the sprint page, right, and everyone can see it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I can also just column a ticket or just assign the ticket to you, or you can also just yeah, and I can share the ticket to you, and you can get the ticket done, right? Just very similar, I would say. But we don't have to be that complex.
Oh, I see. So you mean like it's more about like an offline platform like Jira Ticket, for example, A create to do ticket, right? And B update this one. So I think we don't expect to be real time like Google Doc.
Oh, I I feel like if you can get it as real time as possible, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think yeah maybe I would say like when A updated to do, right? And let's say like I think it's for any system. Like we can have like B is online or like B is offline. We can discuss in these two scenarios. For example, like B is online, B can see it in real time. And if B is offline, B can for example, like receive a notification about it. I think should be very fair, to ensure we have a good to-do system. I think that's all in my mind about the functional requirements right now. What do you think?
Okay, that's good.
Sounds great. Cool. Yeah. So I think after this functional requirement, let's me define a non-functional one to ensure, we can have a perfect experience. Let's say, first of all, when we think about any system, I think latency should be very important. I would say like when any like read or write operation, we should have like less than 500 milliseconds. It does not impact the user experience, and we definitely should design in this way. Yeah. And second, I'm thinking about we should explore like make it scalable, maybe like like millions of users in this platform. They are using this system, it should be scalable, scalable to like huge user base. Yeah. And third one thing about like CAP for any like complex system. When we talk about like consistency and availability, I'm thinking about because for the read and write pattern here, so what kind of property we prefer? Uh, for this system, I think when we talk about the consistency, I can only think about like a read after write issue. For example, right, when A updates something and uh, uh, A expect to see it, reflected in his client immediately, right? Can see the fresh data. Yeah, I think we should prefer like consistency for like read after write scenarios. I think anything else, we can prefer availability because we're trying to make sure the system is available to users to view and to view and can yeah they can use it. Yeah, I think maybe the functional requirement I want to add one more is that user can view their to-do list and items. Yeah, that would be yeah, very easy one. Yeah. So let me think more. Yeah, actually we mentioned like in real time and notification here. So let's say for the notification part, we should ensure like the user can receive the notification and also the notification should be exactly once, but it really depends on our system, how we can achieve it. Maybe we can sacrifice something. Let's just let's say notification should be at least exactly once, yeah. But depends on how we implement, yeah. Let me think more. Is there anything I missed? Maybe one more like reliable system and fault tolerant. What do you think? That's all
Yeah,
in my mind.
yeah, we can talk about some details later during your high level design.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Sounds great. Cool. Yeah. Let me move to, let's have a quick estimation. I don't want to put too much time, but I think a quick estimate should be like 1 minute estimation should be very quick. Let's say we have like 100 million like DAU and we have like 10 million uh users online at any second and maybe like because most users maybe in the just log in and but they don't do anything maybe like 1 million users working on to do but when I working on to do it can be like let's break down the users like 900K users are reading maybe 100K users are writing. Yeah, that would be the QPS here. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to put too much time here. Yeah, I think don't impact our overall design. So
Sure.
let's move on to maybe like API design. But actually, it's also not very interesting. But we can have like quick one like create to do. list, you know,
Hmm.
maybe like create or update to-do list, or like create, update to-do items, or maybe like share to-do list and like query to-do list. Yeah, I don't want to put much time behind design. I
Hmm.
think that's very easy. Yeah. I think I can jump into the high level design right now. Cool.
Okay. So for the
Any questions?
estimation, so you're saying you're going to support 100 million DAU,
Mm-hmm.
and can you calculate the QPS there?
Oh, sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. If you are interested about this one, let me come
Hmm.
back here. So, yeah, I just said like 100 million DAU here, and like 10 million users are online, at any given second. And I'm saying like maybe most users, right, they just like us, like log into the website but don't do anything. So I just mentioned like 1 million users are working on to do, and 900K users are like reading, querying, just the browsing, the to-do system, and 100K users are writing, yeah, writing here. So yeah, consider like maybe like peak hours, right, peak traffic. I think we can times five here. So let's say, so 900K times five would be 4 million, yeah, around 4 million PPS here. And for
Let's say
100,
five. So five items every second or every day.
oh, I'm seeing
Well,
the peak.
I'm saying writing. So let's talk about the writing QPS first. So just assume, just like you mentioned, we have, 100K users they are writing. Or just say
Mhm,
this way, I think we can just calculate this much simpler. Like just assume we have uh 10 million users, and
mhm,
every user actually creates five items every day.
mhm.
So then
Yeah, one
how many
user,
how many
five
items
items,
every
right?
second?
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, how many items every second?
Oh, great question. Yeah. So if you say like one user, right, create five items. So I think I can, times five here. So I just calculate like 500K, right, QPS. So that's times five would be times five would be uh 2.5 million QPS, right? QPS, yeah. Yeah, I see a point. Yeah, I think maybe for each item, yeah, if we need to do that. Maybe yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, yeah.
The 500K is what? What is 500K?
500K is right here. So I'm saying like a peak hour, peak traffic. I times five based on the 100K.
Uh, um, because I just mentioned the five items are just in average, one user will create five items in one day. So how many seconds in one day?
I see the point
Yeah.
per day. Okay, okay. Sorry, I forgot that. Okay, sorry.
This
Yeah,
is much more this is much more realistic, right?
yeah. Makes
Okay,
sense. Yeah, make much sense. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Actually, the traffic will be much less. So honestly, so let me calculate in this way. So, if one user is five items per day, and let me remove. Sorry, I remove the previous calculation. So we have like 100 million DAU, right? So let's say, uh, but I don't think every user will have five items. Do you see like on average, right? We have five
Uh-huh.
items.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So cool. So we have 500 million items per day, and we divide by every day we have like uh it's 100K second, right? Yeah, it should be yeah, run up to this one, yeah. So it will be, let's say how much. So 500 and one more 5,000, yeah, 5,000, yeah. So it will be 5,000 QPS, yeah, per I
Yeah.
mean like
It's
per
fine.
yeah.
It's not big. Okay.
Yeah, it's not big. 5,000 items per second, yeah.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, this is only QPS I care, so we can move forward. For the API, I would say we can talk about the detail, some detail APIs later, but I wouldn't kill all of them. But first, can we just go to the high level design?
Sounds great. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy to move to have a high level design right now. Okay, cool. Let's say we have like a client. Oops. Looks like I cannot. Okay, I know what's wrong. Okay, now it's okay.
Mhm.
Let's have user A, and we'll be have yeah, I would like design like microservice oriented. So let's say we have an API gateway here. You already have like authentication, like relimiting or routing. Yep. So, but it's not very important. Let's move on. So we're going to have like a to do server here, and we're going to obviously. So it's a very common like CRUD here. So we need to have database, obviously. Yeah. So have a database here. And we have like user B. Yeah, actually this pipeline should be very MVP, right? I want to go to the data model right now, or you want to complete the whole level design?
Or can you go through the workflow? What is the
Uh,
workflow? Mhm.
oh yeah, so you mean like go through the whole functional requirement?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, so in this way, I think for any, let's say like A should,
So there are two. So basically, the user A and the user B, they will collaborate, right?
yeah.
So just walk me through the entire workflow in the high level design.
Sounds great. Perfect. Okay, cool. So if it does not involve A and B, right? For any user, right? He create or update anything, right? This flow
Mhm.
should be enough, right? So, but if we involve the two users right now, so let's say one A create a to-do list and B trying to add more to-do list to the items to the list,
Well,
and
so I was curious about, I'm much more curious about we just go to the modules, say user A create something, go to the API gateway, and then
Mhm,
something go to the to-do server, right? And what
mhm.
data to the database, something like this. This is the workflow I'm much more interested. Um,
Are
let,
you saying
let,
like
let, let, let me let me ask you this way. What is to-do server?
oh, this tool server is trying to great question. So what is to do server here? So to do server is trying to I would say trying to manage all the read or write to the database, right? It's trying to, for example, for the endpoint, when we see the request parameters, we get the details, right? What kind of to do, which one to create, and what kind of like um, what kind of data we're trying to modify. So we in the to-do server, we're trying to have the application code ready and then write to the database or read from database.
Uh-huh. Um,
And maybe I think you are more interested about like uh the collaboration part, right? I mean like A and B, right?
no, it's not there yet. I just curious,
Oh yeah.
what is the, so you mentioned the database. So what tables? We don't need to go to the details about the table. So what tables do you think we need in the
Oh
database?
yeah, 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 yeah. I just mentioned, yeah, yeah. I just mentioned like I asked you like yeah, I would like to come go to the data model part, yeah.
So are you
So
saying them? So now the modules are all there in the high level design. Do you think anything missing? Anything important? We should
yeah,
have.
I think I missed
Mhm.
a few components, I believe so. So for example, like I just mentioned, right? When, for example, when A update to do and B is online, B can see it in real time, right? And also when B is offline,
Oh,
B can.
I just care more about the modules. So what modules might be missing? Because today you looks like let's ignore the API gateway. We only have the to-do server and the database. So
Mhm.
I feel like we need more modules in high level design.
I see a point.
Mm.
So give me 1 second. Let me go through the function one more time. A should be update. I see a point. Maybe, yeah, I think we can maybe like make it much more specific. I got a point. Maybe like, for example, when A trying to share the to-do list to B, right? We can have like a share service. Yeah, I guess you're trying to ask me. I guess
No, it's
so.
fine. Also, if the I think the share and some other services they can be the same services, but if you want to separate them, that's also fine. Um,
Mhm.
so share service, to do server. The to do is actually create to do or delete to do. They will be in the to do server, right?
Yeah, so I'm saying like the very basic CRUD, they are in the to-do server. Yeah,
Okay, can you add maybe add the CRUD there to make sure this is handling the CRUD.
sounds great. Yeah,
But
yeah.
the share service, why do you think we need a separate service for sharing?
Yeah, because I think for share service, right? Usually, when user trying to share this one, I think the QPS is very low compared to like a CRUD, you know. So I'm saying like in this way, we can make the service separated and for like even high peak traffic, right? I think even in peak traffic, it's not sure that much. So when we separate this one, maybe in compute machines we can scale up a specific service. Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Yeah,
and
let's jump to
do
data
you think
model. Yeah.
we need to have some logging system or maybe some messaging system there?
Oh, I see a point. Yeah. I think it's more about yeah, great question. Yeah, I think that will become to like deep dive part. So like for example, right, when A is trying to update something and B is update the same to do item, right? And how do we address them? So I would like to come back here when we deep dive. So maybe we finish the data model first. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
just
yeah. I
walk through
think that
the tables.
cool. Sounds great. Yeah. Let me work on the data model now. Yeah, so let me have a schema about the to-do list first. So obviously we have like to-do list, to-do item. So how do we define them here? Yeah, before the model, I would say I would like to use let's say what kind of database we need. I think I can use I prefer NoSQL here, and for NoSQL, I usually like DynamoDB or Cassandra. I would say I prefer DynamoDB here, and compared to relational DB, I don't see like any value by picking relational DB in this design. Usually like relational DB is more expensive, whatever. I think by regarding the NoSQL, I don't see like it's very write intensive or like we don't need to utilize the specialty of Cassandra. I think DynamoDB it should be very general and popular and common database we can utilize today. Yeah. So I would like use DynamoDB here. And for data model here, so let's model the schema. Let's say we have like a to-do list table. Let's say we have a list ID. Yeah, for any to-do list. So who created the to-do list? So it should be like owner ID, right? the owner user ID. So let's have like maybe like list title or like created as. So the list ID would be the partition key here. Mm, what
Well,
else?
maybe
So
we'll talk about some sharding and the partition later. So first, just talk about how many tables we need. You don't need to go to the details about the tables.
oh, sounds good. Yeah, yeah. Let me give you the overview of the table first, right? We can come back. Yeah, design it better for like efficient query. All right. Yeah, sounds great. Let's have like to do item table because one list can have multiple items. So let's say we have like list ID here and item ID here, and like you we don't need user IDs. So oh yeah, for any item we can have like item content, right? Like what can to do, maybe like do the shopping tomorrow like this. Yeah. Maybe like have a status. Yeah, it can be like a down or on down like this. And also can be like we have like created ads sometime or updated ad. Yeah, because items can be modified frequently. Yeah, maybe yeah. And maybe we have like maybe have a version. Yeah, I'm thinking more about like later on how do we avoid like confliction, whatever. So yeah, let me have a version here. Yeah, I'm thinking come back to the function requirements. How do we share this one? Maybe we can have like a to do share table. Hmm. So when user A share a table to the user B, how make it happen? We have like a list ID. We have when user A share to B and C. So we can insert two records in this table. Let's see, user ID and maybe like permission can read or write or both. Yeah. Uh, let me check. List table, item table, show table. Yeah, I think we definitely need some like index. So I think these three tables should cover the code design here. So what we want to achieve in functional requirement. And I think I can come back to decide, the sharding here. Um, for the to-do list table, we have a list ID as a partition key, and we can have like to-do item table, also list ID as partition key. Let's have a sort key here. And for to-do share, we can have like a partition key, a sort key here. Let me come back to the functional requirements. Yeah, we definitely need to think more about the read pattern. So user A can create, update, or update status. That would be easy. So when A show the to-do list to B and C and D, you can see can update the to-do show table. And I just mentioned like user can view their to-do list and items. So for example, when user log into the system and they can quickly see what to-do list they have. I think we can have like we can build a index here. So we have a global second index on this one. So the owner ID will become the index would be is that so index here owner ID is the partition key. Yeah, in this way we can support a query like support a query user own to do own list. And for to do item table, do we need anything here? Mm.
Okay, it's fine. So
Yeah.
I, I'm just interested in the tables. Looks like you have the to-do list table and the to-do item table and
Mhm.
the to-do share table.
Yep.
Uh, the share table will be just the relation with the.
Yeah, actually, I just want to mention one more index I think I made. For example, for this index, we can have like user ID as the partition key. Uh, and we can query list shared with this user. You know what I'm saying? Like user can query do this query. What cannot do this? Shared to you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And for the permission read and write, every time we can check the permission to make sure if this user can update or can just read. Yeah. Yeah, I think it should cover the code design about data model. What do you think? Any questions?
Well, for the permission,
Mm-hmm.
I was, I was curious about the permission you're designing.
Mm-hmm.
So, a user can share this to somebody. I
Yep.
say we can grant the permission to read or write permission. I think by default, everyone has a permission. Uh, has permission to read. But for the write, once you share the item to someone else, they should be able to take over your items, right?
Oh, actually, I'm more thinking about it's similar to Google Doc, right? You are the owner of the Google Doc, and you share the doc to someone else, but someone else is not the owner. They can just read or update your document. Do you mean like we want
Well, this
to?
one is open. I just because the permission is very complex. I feel like Google's one is much more complex than this one
Yeah,
because for Google they have specific view permission, they have
yeah,
edit, they also
yeah. They
have
have common permission. Yeah,
comment, yeah, the comment thing. But I feel like the to-do items, if I share someone to you, you can just do it for me. For example, I share to-do item to you. For example, or just buy um buy air ticket for me, and um because you are my friend, I share
yeah,
this to you, and you can just buy this for me, right? Once you get this done, you just mark this as done.
yeah,
Uh, it's because the a to-do item is different than document stuff. The to-do item is just an item to do, right?
yeah.
Basically, you see it and you'll get it done, right? You'll get it
Okay,
done
do you mean like we
offline.
don't need the permission, right?
Yeah, I feel like the read we don't care we don't care too much about the reading about the read stuff, right? Because mostly just when I see it, I will do it, right?
Yeah,
And the action will happening offline. It's not something in the system.
yeah. Yeah, sounds good, but I don't think it, yeah, I think yeah, it's more about like product requirement, right? Yeah, I
Mm.
think
It's
yeah,
different.
yeah,
It's just different from the Google so document editing. It's different.
yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, yeah. It really depends on what kind of product we're trying to design. Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
yeah. Sure. I think the tables should be good, and because we can do a lot of things on the tables. Do you think we should lock something for the table operations?
Yeah, great question. So when you say log the table, I
Mhm.
think when, for example, right, we just mentioned like when user A, maybe like when user A and user B are trying to update the same to-do item, right?
Mhm.
And how do we avoid a conflict here? I think we can have a, like I just mentioned like maybe we can have a version in this to-do item table, right? I think maybe we can have a optimistic locking, and every time we have a version, before you update this one, and you have the version in your client, right? And you pass the version alongside your request, and then when you're trying to update the table, and we compare the version, you know, before we write up, before we trying to update the item, and we compare the version. If the version is different, it means like someone else update the item, and then we can reject the request. So I think when we it's also I think it's a trade-off is that I'm thinking like when the optimistic log is rejected, I mean like the user request is rejected, and how do we retry, or do we just like pop up a window to the user A's client and tell the user, oh, someone else modified your to-do item. You should try again later, right? So it's a trade-off, right? what kind of how do we achieve that? So I'm thinking I think for user experience side, I prefer to let the user itself handle the config, right? So by using the optimist locking, and we let the user know someone else modify it, and you should retry it or you should update later. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I would say like we can achieve like optimistic locking here. Yeah. And what else? So
Mm, well, do you think we need some cache?
great question. Yeah, for the cache here, I'm thinking about for to do list here. Mm, yeah, let me come back to read write QPS here. So for read write, I think for read, maybe we can have a cache about the read, because maybe like some to-do list or like to-do lists are not updated frequently. So we can have like a cache here, you know, and trying to query the cache first, and then we uh, also interact with database for the cache. But actually, it has a trade-off, right? Everyone know, right? When you enter cache, and it has the data can be still, right? And someone updates the database, and then how the database can update the cache, right? In real time or like immediately, and how do we make the cache can reflect the data freshness? That would be depends on the cache eviction, or like how do we have a great cache strategy for this product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what kind of technology you're going to use for cache?
Yeah, for cache in this industry, we usually use like Redis or memory cache, and I think I would prefer Redis. First of all, I'm more familiar with Redis, and also I think Redis is can support many more features. And yeah, so let me type Redis here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can come back to the non-functional requirement, trying to, solve some problems. What do you think? I can check all the non-functional.
Um, well,
Any specific question you have?
I feel like the database is used to store the to-do item and also to do the to-do list. So do you think for anything like the user for something like the user actions, the user operations, can we just use something maybe some queue, or do you think your services can just handle them well? Or can we if if the edit or if something like the user actions are too much, can we just doing can we do the things in an asynchronous way?
Oh, and let me try to understand your question first. So you are saying, is there any scenario, for example, this to-do list shared to many users, let's say like 1,000 users, right? And then 1,000 users, they can
Well,
update.
let me just rephrase. So because for some items, there might be if you want to create a new to item, there might be some media or some pictures or even some videos there, right? It might be expensive to get it done synchronously. Right? Maybe we
Yeah.
can just um do do this in an asynchronous way. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean, yeah, we're trying to update the to-do item, right? And the user trying to upload a media, just like Jira ticket, right? One user trying to upload a video into
Uh-huh.
the to-do item. So
Because
you
it
are,
looks like your design is synchronized. So once user A performs something, we
Mhm.
just put it into the to-do server, and the to-do server will try to get everything done and then return back to the user, right? Do we have to?
Yeah, great question. So, actually, from the very beginning, I clarify is that I just say like, for example, in the non-functional requirement, right? You can see the third one. I say like prefer consistency or read after write. So I mean like, um, I think it should be a very lightweight to-do list. So that's in my mind. For example,
Okay.
the user can just test something. Yeah, right. For example, I want to go to shopping tomorrow. Just like a few seconds, a few sentences. Yeah, like this. So. Yeah, but that's what I grounded from the very beginning. So that's why I think a synchronous one can work.
Mm-hmm.
So but when you are saying like, yeah, when you're saying like one scenario, with maybe one user trying to upload a media, right? Upload a video to a to-do list. Yeah. I think we can modify the system to make it asynchronous. Maybe like uh yeah, I think for the media part, I think it should be we should specifically address the media, right? And because it's different from the other content. So let's say we have like yeah, I think let's just say you when you upload a media, upload a video, let's address this specific scenario. Yeah. So in this way, I think for any media, we need to store in like Amazon S3, some cloud storage, yeah, like GCP cloud storage, like this. Yeah, let me put it like S3 here. Yeah, I prefer S3 here since I choose DynamoDB. Let's use AWS along the way. Yeah, maybe. So. Yeah, when we're trying to go to the server here, and then we should call the S3 to generate like a pre-signed URL, and then return the pre-signed URL back to the client, and the client will upload the media to the S3 here. So that's how we make it asynchronous. Yeah, I think it really depends on the to-do item content. If it does not have any media, I think synchronous should work. If it has a media, right, we can have a synchronous pattern here. What do you think?
Okay. Um, do you think we can introduce something like the message queue to
Yeah, when you say message queue, I'm thinking about, so when we say message queue, right, I'm thinking about like what kind of issue message queue can address. So first of all, message queue, first it can decouple some like the service dependency, right? And secondly, message queue can maybe like delay something. For example, when you send an event or message to a message queue, it can delay it. Like it can happen like in 10 minutes or oh sorry, in 10 seconds or like 1 minute later.
Mhm.
For message queue also, message queue has one feature like you can you can let the read or write, load actually make it more soft. We don't have to expect to be synchronous. I think for the message queue, maybe we can have a message queue in the between the to-do server and the database, right? Because when the maybe like the surge traffic, right? When the traffic comes in, and we can have a message queue right here, MQ here, trying to slow the traffic. Don't load the database at
Mm.
that time. Yeah, crash the database. What do you think?
Okay, what about before to do server? Can we put a message queue before that?
Yeah, great question. So, is it possible? Should we move the message queue between before the to-do server?
I feel like for some actions, for something like this, the message queue should be fine. But if for chatting or from real-time thing, maybe that has to be synchronized, right? But for such quick tasks, we we are fine with some latency, right? We just put everything into the queue, and there will be some workers to pick up to keep up the task the jobs from the queue, and then once they get it done, they'll just inform us it's done. I feel like the things like this should be using something like the queue should be the right way. So then it will be something similar to the job scheduler, right? You put something there. Once you have some workers get this done and response back to me. What do you think?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's also one great direction is that I see a point. So for API gateway, they can send the event, right? Go to the message queue, and then for we can have a uh like a multiple worker and pick the event from the message queue, and then send the worker. I mean, like the worker itself can update to database. Yeah. Do you want to do you want me to modify in this way?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
I just want to ask you if
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is
That's a great
doable or
thinking.
not.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
doable or not.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. And then so you talk about sharding.
Mhm.
Can you tell me how you do the sharding work?
So when you ask me like sharding, my understanding is about database sharding. Do you mean this one?
Yeah, because you mentioned sharding, right? So the data sharding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So for database sharding, so sharding is about partition key, right? So partition key will be a list ID here. So yeah, I don't think like any hard partition issue. Um, I think for the list ID and for we generate a to-do list here. Oh, maybe you are asking like, for example, this to-do list has a lot of to-do items, right? Yeah, it's possible. Maybe like from product side, we can limit the user can only create like 1,000 items like this way. But also we have to address the large partition like what if we have large partition? Yeah. So we can optimize. Let, let me let me think about it. Yeah, what you want? Yeah, I think the first table should be good. Yeah, it only has list ID about the list, and second table. I think the question comes to the second table, list ID and item ID. We can have a lot of item ID in this partition, and in this way, I think we can design maybe like one more like uh and one more partition key, composite partition key in this way, maybe like a create date, maybe like create hour, yeah, like which hour we created this to do item in this way, trying to make it more evenly distributed in this database, yeah, like created hour, like which hour, right? You create this to do item, so it's also a partition key. Yeah. So it has two fields in one in for this partition key. I think in this way we can make it more evenly distributed. What do you think?
Hmm. Okay. So do you expect some hotspot?
Uh, yeah, I just mentioned like, so when you ask hard spot, do you mean uh like
Yeah, I'm asking you. Do you think somewhere there will be some hotspot and you have to handle?
yeah, I think it's definitely possible. Is that maybe one to-do list, there's a lot of users are viewing and also a lot of users are writing, and also I think from to-do server part, definitely should be a lot of to-do server here. I'm seeing. So I think for specifically, uh, yeah, for different to-do server, I think we can scale up the service, right? Maybe like if it's a Kubernetes, and we can scale up the service, we can set up a great like HPA for the auto scaling. And well, actually, that's one idea comes to mind just now. Maybe we can have a consistent hashing, and we have consistent hashing here, and for we can hashing based on the list ID. So it means any users when they try to work on the same list ID, they should go to the same to-do server. So in this way, actually, we can easily know by monitoring, we can easily know which server or which server has a lot of traffic there, and we can easily scale up that cluster or scale up that specific server. Yeah, that would be much better to easily to handle this situation. What do you think?
Okay. Then one more topic is the notification. Because if I share something to you,
Hmm.
if you get something done, if you mark this as done, I should
Hmm.
be notified immediately. Or if
Yeah.
I share this to you, you should be notified immediately that you have a to-do item.
Yeah, that's a great way. Yeah, that's one non-functional requirement. That's one requirement we mentioned about receive notification. Yeah. So how do we have a notification pipeline here? So when we update something to database, um, yeah, I think there's a few solutions here. When the to-do server receives the response from the database, we say like the to-do item is updated, right? And the to-do server is trying to find the stakeholders and if he should use the notification service, I think we can call notification service and then call the user. Maybe also we can utilize the database itself. Database like DynamoDB, it has like DynamoDB stream. We can have a maybe like have a Lambda function, and then for the Lambda function, we're trying to um, update the message back to the user. Yeah, actually, I think we have a lot of ideas here. So maybe I can
Hmm.
have like yeah, let me have like number function here for database itself and trying to you know uh database string going to the lambda function, and for the lambda function we can let the user notify the user. I think for notification, let's say we have a notification service here. But I think the most interesting part is that how do we notify the user, and how do we make sure it's exactly once? Um, yeah, it comes a lot of strategy. Maybe we can maintain like
Well, I feel like, do you think we need to do the exactly once? It's just a notification, right? But if we can just get rid of the duplicate, that would be great, right? I think just try to dedupe would be great. But
yeah,
if for something it really has so that some notification happen twice, it's yeah, it's acceptable, right? What do you think?
yeah. That's a great
We should,
product.
I
Product
would say
idea.
we should at least once, but exactly once is not something we have to have.
Yeah, that's great product man side. Yeah, I think exactly once is honestly for any system, exactly once is very hard to achieve. So it can add a lot of complexity into the system. Especially for the to-do list, notification should be not the most important, right, part. So at least once should be lightweight, and we can make it happen. Yeah, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I think that at least once would be more ideal when we design this system. Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you going to support the push notification and email notification if the user is offline? So how would you notify the user?
Oh, good question. I think usually we can have like uh I know like we have a lot of third-party notification service, right? Like Twilio, like whatever. Actually, we can utilize their third-party one and third-party. And also for the Apple, right? We can have like Apple notification, push notification. They are actually all the SMS like messaging. Actually, we can definitely use the third-party part as because I don't think that's it will impact the to-do list system. So I would like you to utilize the third-party service. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. So what about the fault tolerance? Do you think which module would need some fault tolerance?
Yeah, for tolerance, I can see. Let me come back to the whole system, check every component here. So for API gateway, definitely should be like stateless, and Kubernetes like has multiple instances, right? And for to-do server, I think it's a CRUD service, and also it's stateless. So we can scale up where, so it should be fine. And for the database DynamoDB, actually it's crowd managed. I think we don't have to worry too much about this crowd service. And Redis service, we have a distributed Redis cluster. So Redis definitely very strong. And it's in memory. And the worst case, even in memory, Redis is crashed. It does not impact our whole functionality yet. And anything else, I think should be good. For S3, it also is AWS managed. And I think, yeah, I think overall, I think the service is pretty reliable, honestly. Um, I think for any system, we just need to make sure, ensure the core function, they can work. Yeah, I think that will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So, mm, anything else you'd like to mention or anything missing in the non-functional requirement? So the latency looks like your system should be able to have pretty small latency, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just like I mentioned from the very beginning, actually I designed in synchronous ways. So also for asynchronous, like for the upload media, right? It's asynchronous, so it won't be impact the latency. Yeah. And for the RPC core here, you can see just the three or four like the network core that should be affordable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Yeah, that's all everything in my mind. Yeah.
about um
Oh,
the
I just
data
missing like
the data center.
yeah.
So I was curious about how would you do the deployment? Are you going to just deploy in one data center, or you have multiple data center for uh for the potential switch after some breakage? So it's basically I'm just curious, how would you set it up? Or also, would you support something like multi-region setup? Because for the users from different regions, they may, if we want to have less latency, right, then we may have to have some specific setup to do that, right?
Yeah, good question. I think, yeah, it really depends on the product. For example, if this product is global, right? For example, we can have users in US or users in China, right? And then maybe there are two users from two different countries. They are working on the same to-do list, and it should be definitely uh, I would say the latency can be high, yeah. And also, we definitely should have two data center in two different, major region. And looks like in our system, we have like S3 or DynamoDB mostly rely on the cloud service. I think we can reserve multiple region in the AWS and trying to make sure they can this global region issue. What do you think?
Okay, sounds good. Um, I think we didn't talk about the connection. If the user A connect to the system, are you going to use some HTTP or RESTful request, or are you going to use WebSocket or anything else?
Great question. So yeah, I think for the all the like API here, I think a general HTTP request should be good. Yeah, we can achieve the function, right? And I think maybe one special pass is that if we want to, for example, user B update something and we want to make sure like a user A can see it in real time just in this in this scenario, I think maybe we can introduce WebSocket for them and trying to make sure like the to-do server can use the WebSocket, send back uh, the latest information back to the user A's client to make sure user A can see it quickly. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay. Well, time is up. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm, OK，我们今天的话，我们就尽量大家都一起参与进来，来进行沟通，好吧？我这边写了一些 feedback，写的比较多，但其实更多的是一个让大家去很多系统是一个 general 的一个角度啊，就让大家去看一下这个哪些东西需要注意并不是说这些东西都不是，比如说上面的一些 good point 其实很多啊，我就没有去记了但是呢，我只是说 need attention 的地方，其实不是说这个问题是有问题这个我只是说这个问题我们需要对大家来说需要 attention 这块需要重点讨论，好吧？所以我写了这么多，然后我在讨论我的点之前的话呢，我想看一下大家对这位面试者的一个整个面试的一个表现的一个评价，大家可以举手发言，或者直接开麦吧。
再好，我说一点吧。我叫 B，就是我感觉就是 GC 他刚开始看到这个题目的时候，他有一点先入为主的想到是design 一个像 Google Doc 这样的一个，实际上我们这个系统可能有点跟 Google Doc 确实有点其实不太一样，所以他呃就是开始这个设计之后呢，就有一点点可能有一点点呃偏离这个方向吧，一开始，还有很多地方可能它的设计可能有一点点参考 Google Doc 的这个方向是有点over design 的这个这个感觉，就是
哦，OK，
我的这个感觉。对，
对，这个我当时也有一点点，然后把它拽回来了。对吧？
嗯，
我刚才说这个东西，其实我们更一个 to do item 更多是一个怎么说呢？它不会涉及到很多 read，对吧？它只是说他看到这个事情以后，他马上去做，对吧？那这个东西可能你真正要去 add 一个 document 的话呢，可能不是这个 to do list 应该设计的一个东西。其实这个题其实说实话，这个题其实比较小众啊。这个题的话，你看起来可能像 Google Doc，但其实的话你没有必要设计那么复杂。所以说这个题的话，有些公司啊，有几个公司特别喜欢考这个题啊，而且这个题确实说实话不太好答，真的是不好答所以你一定要在这个题就是说你在 confirm functionality 的时候 confirm 清楚。首先举个例子，就是说，
我觉得
嗯
科比老师开始提到，就是说更像 Jira，我觉得这个设计是参考 Jira 的那些风格或者那些操作啊什么的，可能会更
嗯，
开始会更好一些。
对，其实 Jira 那个对你说的是对的。其实 Jira 的话，其实我们这个 To Do System 其实比 Jira 更简单，对吧？它更多是一个 track 一个 To Do list，然后怎么去做一个 collaboration，对吧？所以的话，我们可以怎么说呢？你可以设计得很复杂，也可以就是说，也可以设计的简单一点点。然后，如果面试官需要你设计复杂一些的话，你再过去，可能读同一个题啊，同一个题可能不同面试官他对他的对这个题的要求可能不太一样。对吧？我这边可能就觉得你只要把这个 to do list 给 track 好就行了。有些人可能觉得，哎你需要设计一个像类似于 Jira 这样一个东西，对吧？Jira 这个东西的话，如果是这样你可能就按照 Jira 那个方向去设计它可能有些 to do item，to do item 里面可能真正还有一些其他一些加 tag 那些东西，对吧？有这个东西如果是设计起来就比较麻烦了，对吧？所以confirm 清楚就是说至少我作为面试官的话，我需要的东西比较简单，我不需要那么复杂的东西。OK，挺好的。还有其他同学吗？大家多发言啊！发言的话，我们互相讨论才能互相提高，好吧？我列了很多东西但我等到最后再讲。
我其实感觉老师我也讲一下，我其实感觉之前就像你说的，不过你已经说重复一遍了，就同一个问题，可能不同面试官这个想听的东西不一样。在刚刚开始，就比如说我个人，我拿到这个问题的时候，我以为可能侧重点是怎么去解决 conflict 的问题，然后但很明显，这 Kobe 老师想问的不是这个，所以我觉得作作为 candidate 来说，还是不要先入为主吧，就尽量把面试官想听的东西挖出来。然
嗯
后他如果对别的东西感兴趣，呃，那就不要就强行把自己想讲的这个东西讲出去，而是
嗯，
说去尽量去明白面试官想要问他最感兴趣的那部分是什么。
对，是的。你说的 conflict 是不是在 Google Doc 里面那种 added 的
哎，对
conflict？
对对，我想的也是那种，就
对，
就那种感觉。对，
其实因为 Google Doc 这种题的话是大家都问的比较多了，而且在题库里面都有。其实这个 to do list 这个题的话，我感觉考的不多，对吧？我不知道你们有没有
嗯，
见过很多我至少看这方面的一些资料都很少啊。所以这一块的话，你尤其是遇到你一个新题，可能没见过的一道新题的话呢，你不要着急去套模板。比如说这个题的话，你去套 Google Doc，那这面试官听起来可能你就会去套，就会觉得你可能是要套那个模板。因为说实话，大部分面试官都是经历过面试的。就比如说我也是经历过的，但是我挨个学那个书，我基本上我只是看过，我知道有哪些题在，但很多细节我都没有去看。但是我知道有那个 Google Doc 那个题在，Google 那个题好像在挨个学里面可能不一定有，对吧？但是呢，这个题是比较经典的一个题啊但是呢，包括记了 item 这个其实也是一个题这个比如说那个公司叫什么？叫 Atlassian 吧，啊。 还是 conference 就是说这些公司的话，他们会去专门考这些题，去考这些协作的，比如说 Slack 协作和 conference 协作这个东西，对吧？这也是一个比较经典的一个题。但是呢，我觉得我们就是首先就是说尤其遇到一个新题，就不要着急套模板，先要理清这个这个题的一个重点在哪。因为如果你从一开始套进去的话，你就会把思维陷入到里面去，这样的话，其实你可能需要很多这个功能，其实并不是面试官想要的，对吧？OK，还有其他问题吗？
我有一个比较 general 的问题。
嗯
就是在这种 design 的环节的话，就是虽然说我是 MLE，然后但是就是说它有 System Design，然后在这个 design 的过程中，比如说因为要 cover 好几个不同的 component，那如果面试官在一个 component 里问了好多的问题，然后比如说如果我觉得可能我讲其他的这个部分的时候，可能时间不太够，这个时候我是要跟着他走呢，还是我应
嗯
该先就是说，OK，我们如果之后有时间再回来谈这块儿呢？
我觉得这是一个很好的一个问题，因为其实我觉得我是想去抓更多 signal，所以我感觉我在面试过程中的话，可能有时候问的有点稍微多了一点点啊，然后但是有些面试官的话呢，他可能完全又不问你，你就一直讲下去，对吧？其实两方面都是有利有弊的。其实像我这种的话呢，就我这里面，在我的 comment 里面，这个 need attention 这个地方我也讲了一下啊，我我先提前讲一下吧，就是说我的想法是呢，就是呃，像这种情况啊，就是一定要 to the point。就比如说我问你一个问题我们需不需要有一个这样的一个 Q 在里面？你说，哎，我们可能需要这样一个 Q 这个 Q 的话放哪，对吧？这个时候你不用去讲细节，比如说你这个 Q 应该怎么样怎么样。如果我问你一个问题，你就讲得很细，那这个就很难了。那你这样的话，就是我可能没法问你太多问题。因为我问你一个问题，你都会讲得很细，这样的话你就可能把自己这个整个的节奏打乱了。你本来是要讲很多东西的，对吧？或者由时间关系，你讲的东西很多东西你讲不了了。就比如说举个例子，我们刚才讲，我们问了很多问题以后，接下来我们发现很多东西缺失的，比如说 notification 这个东西的话，我觉得应该你都写在自己的 functionality 里面去了，但最后的话发现你都没有时间去讲了，或者你自己忘了，因为可能被我打断了，对吧？这就为什么说我说你回答我的问题的时候一定要纯简，to the point，然后先 confirm，比如说，就举个例子，刚刚在 Q 这个东西，你说，哎，需要这个，比如说这个 database 和这个 to do server 之间可能有个 Q 的话，会好一点点然后这个 API server 和 to do server 之间有一个 Q，这样的话，我们可以把一些 action，把一些这个把一些 action 的东西放到 Q 里面去，然后to do server 更多是一个 worker 去 pick，讲到这就行了，不用再细化了。如果这个时候你就可以 confirm，你说你说这个用面试官这个 make sense 对吧？需不需要再 deep dive？面试官大概率会说不需要了，对吧？因为他可能需要他关 care 的东西可能会 care deep dive 的地方可能只有其中的一两个。这就是我的意思，就是说一定要 to the point，省时间，对吧？还有一个呢，就是我刚刚说另外一种情况，就是有些面试官他不说话，就你一直在那讲来讲去，对吧？或者你讲的过程中，只要你不停，对吧？他就会让你讲下去，这也是一个非常不好的一个 signal，因为这个时候他很可能会挂掉你，对吧？所以你一定要注意，就是说要交互，要 interact，就是你讲了一段以后，你就跳出来，你就 pause 一下，对吧？你说这个，呃，你说我是不是在一个 right direction，你就问一下他，如果他说是的，那继续，对吧？或者你说再说一段，比如再说5分钟以后，或者你这个时候再停下来，你有没有 feedback，有没有 comment，对吧？然后这个时候如果面试官真的有 care 的地方的话呢，他就会提出来。所以说，我是建议的话，就是如果你一个东西讲的比较长，他一直没有想提问的意思的话呢，你一定要自己停下来，然后问他，确认他没有问题，对吧？然后你再继续讲。OK，我不知道有没有回答这个是 Lisa 对吧？Lisa 你的问题。
对对对，OK，我觉得 make sense，反正就是要我就是过几分钟就跟面试官不断的 check 一下，这样会比较好，对吧？
对对对对，就 check 是一点，还有就是一定要 to the point，就是 就是不要每个点都去 deep dive，这样的话时间一下就没了。而且 deep dive 的过程中会有问题，就是说你会暴露出这种问题。有的东西 deep dive，你去讲到某个 deep dive 的一个点，突然一下某一个点正好是面试官最擅长的。当然，如果你只是提到或者你不是特别擅长，面试官往这方面一问下去，那你大概率是一个 negative 的一个 signal。至于为什么，就是说有时候言多必失，有时候就是他问你什么，你就正面去回答，to the point。然后他如果继续想问的话，让他继续问，对吧？如果他不是继续想问的话，你绝对不要自己再去 deep dive 以后，到时候暴露自己的一些问题，好吧？
嗯，那我还想再问一个问题，就是您刚才说的这个 to the point，呃，这个好像感觉有点儿模糊。就 to the point，能举个例子，什么叫 to the point，什么叫这个 deep dive 太多了吗？
OK，因为我刚才也举了一个例子吧，刚才举了个例子就关于那个 Q，对吧？我说是不是需不需要有个 Q？我们需不需要引入一个 Q 进来，对吧？啊，我说引入一个 Q 把它做的 async，这个我说的比较直接了。这个时候你就可以回答，对吧？我就像我说的那样，你就提，哎，是的，比如说 to do server 和 database 里面可以加一个 Q，还有就是 to do server 和这个API gateway 这也可以加一个 Q。这个 Q 的话呢，我们只是把这些任务或者把这些，比如尤其是我们上传一些 media 那东西啊，把那个任务呢，我们都放到这个 Q 里面去，然后接下来各个 to do server 就作为 worker 来 pick up，基本上讲这两三句话就行了，你就不用。
就是把它需要实现的功能，然后就大概说一下，是这个意思吗？
对，就是相当真的就是 TLDR 那种啊，就讲个两三句话，然后这个时候你觉得，然后你就问他make sense 吗？对吧？他如果说 make sense 的话，那就基本上他就不会去继续问了。对吧？那这个时候其实是一个很好的一个 signal 的，其实都觉得你这个哎这方面是比较熟的。这个时候你就不要自己主动再去讲，哎呀这个 Q 应该用什么 Q 啊，用什么 Kafka 啊或者用什么这个 message Q 啊。如果你再讲这么多东西的话呢，你会让这个面试官会问你更多的问题。比如说你说哎你为什么用这个 Kafka 呢？或者为什么用这个 Rapid Q 呢？对吧？或者为什么用这个 Amazon 那个 Q 呢？对吧？这个时候就会引入新的问题进来。只要面试官不问你选择什么 Q，你就不要去自己主动回答。
OK，I see，就是这个技术的细节，就是一开始他没有问的话，就不需要 deep dive，是吧？
对对对对，是的，很多 deep dive 都不是说怎么说呢？面试官会去深入问你，让他如果他去自己去问你去 deep dive，你不要自己主动去deep dive 某些东西，除非你对那个你说哎我对这个 domain 特别擅长，我想去deep dive 这个东西，但你要去 confirm 一下，你说这个面试官这一块是我最擅长的地方，而且我很多这个 industry 的一些 experience 在里面我觉得我在这块可以 deep dive 一下，你觉得可以吗？一定要
嗯
confirm，一定要 confirm 以
，OK。
后再做，明白我意思吧？
那我还有一个问题，就是比如说像对于更高一些级别，比如说 Meta 如果面6或者是怎么样的，这个相对来说比较高级别，他 expect 就是你这个被面试的人需要 lead 的整个的这个 interview。那在这种情况下，那就是这个 deep dive 的这一块儿还是需要深入吗？还是等他问再回答，这样会不会显得比较被动
对，我刚刚不说了嘛，就是说他问是最好的，他问的话，他问什么，就说明他最关心什么，对吧？
？OK。
啊，如果他在某一块问的很深入，你就答下
嗯
去就行了。啊，
，OK，所以
就是
就是说，即
嗯
使是这个6的话，就是它也不需要就是 lead 的这么深入，是这个意思吧
我跟你说，就是说很多东西都是理想和现实差距很大，就是对吧？就是说你想去，有时候你觉得你应该去 drive 这个东西，但是不同面试官他有不同的 style，
对，
所以说很多面试官会打断你。因为他 care 的点就是那些点，对吧？就他自己有自己 care 的那些点，因为他可能在面试之前的话，他这个题已经面了很多遍了，或者说他有一个 guidance 在那里面，对吧？那可
嗯嗯
能他如果你讲的很多东西讲的他不感兴趣的话，他就会打断你，会就到自己感
，I
兴趣
see，
感兴趣的地方来，对吧？
好的好的，明白，谢谢谢
对，
谢。
就是说有些人的话，就是真的就是他不 care，他真的可能他在有些人可能面试官也可能也不是特别专心，对吧？可能刚刚开了一个会然后他回来以后，他只是听你讲，他根本就是他可能还在做其他事情或者就是在旁边听着，对吧？他也不说话，对吧？那这个时候的话，你就一定要 check 他的 attention，你就要讲一段以后 pause 一下，然后问一下他，然后这个时候他慢慢就被你给带进来了，对吧？ 这带进来的话，哎，然后你去讲一个，如果他还不问你，没关系，因为你自己知道自己需要 deep dive 的点，比如到那个点以后，你就说，哎，这一块是我真正很熟的。你要 deep dive 那一块的时候，一定要注意，就是说那一块最好是你真正有 experience 的地方，而不是说你看过很多东西，看过很多书，看过很多就是很多这种别人做过的一些东西最好是自己有 experience，或者哪怕自己没有 experience，你最好也是在准备这个面试之前的话呢，就是能够去强加一些自己的 experience 进去，就相当于把某些东西的话，就真正的以自己 experience 的方式来讲。因为尤其是你要去面 L6的话呢，如果你不是真正你做过基本上是这个 signal 的话会比较有限的因为 JD 里面要招一个 specific 招一个 L6的话呢，他都是希望这个人在这个领域里面就是有很多实战经验一进来以后就能够马上去立的这个东西的，明白我意思吧
嗯，好的好的，谢谢。
？OK，还有其他问题吗？大家可以踊跃讨论啊。我觉得大家讨论的话，其实把我后面很多点都已经 cover 住了。行那我这边就选择几条来讲一下吧。啊、整体来说呢，我觉得因为这个题是比较小众的啊、因为我之前的话只是说，哎，给这个面试者说，这个面试者说想面这个题我说如果从我这个角度理解的话呢，应该是这样一个东西比如说 design 这样一个东西，有这些功能，对吧？我就把这个东西给他了，我没有给其他任何的信息。这就为什么整个 requirement 的话呢，还是有些偏差，对吧？这就是因为我没有提前准备过嗯，所以我觉得达成这样的话呢，其实已经很好了。这个其实该开头的时候我也说了，因为这个题其实比较小众，真的很难答。让我去讲的话呢，我不一定讲得很好，因为说实话，我的 domain 主要是这个backend infra 以及 machine learning infra，对吧？因为这个题的话呢，它其实是很多数据库的东西，很多 API 的一些东西。对吧？而且这些数据库和 API 的东西的话，往往是我在面试过程中喜欢把它忽略掉的，对吧？所以这个我为什么说就是不太好答的一个地方，嗯，但是我整体觉得的话呢，呃，如果要给我，我是觉得我能够给一个 L5，但是呢，我不会给一个 strong 的一个 L5啊，这个大家也看到我的 point 在里面了就是首先 good point 的话呢，就是比如这次它在 functional 和 non-functional 里面的话呢，它其实 cover 了很多东西，而且还 cover 了一些我没有写到的一些东西，这是很好的，因为有时候面试官就是没有把所有的功能都放在里面，但是呢，你有时候需要把一些功能给提出来然后问一下面试官 confirm，跟面试官 confirm 一下，哎，这个是不是也是应该是需要在这个里面的如果面试官 confirm 是的，哎，那就很好，对吧？所以这是一个很好的一个信号同时的话呢，其实也主动的 cover 了很多话题。这个我只是举了一个例子，其实还 cover 了很多东西，我就没有写了。就比如说 NoSQL 和 Relational DB，对吧？这个的话你主动 cover 了一些，我觉得挺好，对吧？嗯，那这一块的话就是说，反正有两种方式吧，就是有一种方式的话，你可能大概带过，哎，我这个有一个对比，然后你可以去 confirm 一下，哎，面试官，哎，这个就是说你要不要我来讲一下这个 NoSQL 和为什么要选择这个吗？你也可以这么去说。如果面试官不感兴趣的话，哎，没问题，数据库这个东西其实大家都知道，哎，那这方面你可能能省一些时间。但是如果你主动去 drive 这个东西，其实也没问题，只要你 drive 这个时间的话，不耗费太多，也没有问题，好吧？我觉得这个应该都是不错的点。下面这些东西的话，不是说每个都是不好的点这里面有好的也有不好的。我只是说下面这些东西是真正在整个面试中需要 care 的。前面两个东西的话，其实没那么重要，对吧？后面东西的话，其实说就举个例子，第一个可能是更多是一个 not good，就是整个 function 和 non-function 的话，这个时间还是有点长。我建议的话就是，如果你要面 L5，尤其是面 L6以上就是说整个的 functional 和 non-functional 的话呢，如果能够在5分钟或者是在六七分钟之内能把全讲完，那是最好的，对吧？整个中间过程中的话呢，我建议你就一直讲然后最后来 confirm，比如说这个 non-functional，哎，你就列了以后，我列在这里面，然后最后你来 confirm 这条是不是要的，对吧？这样的话就是你如果一直问，面试官肯定要回答你，整个一问一答的话，肯定就要花很多时间，对吧？如果你先写好，面试官可能也不会打断你，之后一次性来问这个时候就时间就会减少很多，好吧？这是一个啊，所以我再总结一下这一点哈，就是说这两个 functional 和 non-functional 最好控制在6、7分钟以内 啊。如果你要面 L5、L6以上的话呢，如果你能控制在5分钟以内，那是最好的。因为其实很多一些细节性的东西的话，都可以在后面去 cover 啊，比如说那些non-functional 的东西啊，其实你可以去讲啊，可以讲比较细节的一些东西，但是呢，你后面也会去 cover，所以前面的话可以不用讲的太细。嗯，OK，然后关于 QPS 的 calculation 呢，啊，这个的话呢，其实这个 QPS 我可能，嗯、我把这个放回去，就是我觉得这位面试者他在算 QPS 可能方向有点搞错了，因为怎么说呢？这个题的话呢。我们讲这个 Jira ticket，这个 QPS 它更多是一种，你要去创建这个 item，这样算 QPS，这样算所以呢，其他一些类的 QPS 那些东西的话呢，其实怎么说呢，那些可能没那么重要。当然，如果 Google Doc 是个例外啊，Google Doc 的话，其实你去做一些怎么说呢？做一些 operation 这些 edit 对吧？每个用户都在 edit，每个用户他都在做一些 RPC 的一些事情，这个其实这每个 edit 都很重要，对吧？这个 edit 真正在 QPS 里面的，对吧？但我们这个东西的话，怎么说呢？你 read 的话，其实没那么重要，因为 read 的话，很多可能是从 cache 里面去拿，这个题可能更关心的是 write，所以说你在算 QPS 的时候，你可能就考虑，哎，我们这个应该是。这个题可能更关心 write，对吧？我就讲一下 write KPI 是怎么样的然后你再去 confirm 一下，哎，我们需不需要算其他 KPS 或者算其他一些 bandwidth 那些东西啊？变成感觉没必要了，我只关心这个 write KPS，这样就行了。所以这个我也是想强调，就是说，哎，to the point，然后还有就是尽量省一点时间就是不要把所有都去算了，对吧？然后包括你练，包括这位同学刚刚练那些数据的话呢，嗯、就是说有用的可以去练如果对 KPS 没用的话呢，我们可以一笔带过，或者不去练都没关系。呃，我要不把这两个放到一块了吧？嗯，OK。然后我第三点的话是说，嗯、就是比如说刚刚这位同学画这个 high level 这个 design 的时候的话呢，就是说，因为我刚看只有两个模块，除了 API server，除了 API gateway 和 user 以外，就只有两个模块一个是 database，还有一个是 to do server。我是觉得从一个 high level design 方面的话呢来看的话呢，实在有点太少了。我们应该是最基本的一些模块，比如说这个，嗯，to do service这个应该在里面，然后 database 应该在里面，然后 cache 的话应该也在里面，对吧？还有一些这个，如果你要区分多个 service 的话，比如说这个需要 service 和 to do service 需要分开，这个需不需要分开？这个有些讨论，我觉得可以，也可以，也可以分开，也不可以分开，这个都没关系，对吧？但是我就觉得，呃，一个 high level design 的话，至少把一些更多的一些模块放到里面去。如果你觉得可能真的就只有这两个模块的话呢，你在 work through 这个 high level design 的时候的话呢，最好还是从这个功能的这个角度，比如说user A 去 create 这个东西，它首先会到 API gateway，对吧？API gateway 以后，它会把这个请求的话呢，会 forward 会 select 到一个 to do server。这个时候可能你就会涉及到 consistent hash 了，对吧？你这时候可以稍微提一下，我们可以用 consistent hash 在里面，把它 hash 到一个 to do server，然后 to do server 的话呢，就开始呃，去把它去创建这样一个，去往数据库里面去写，同时的话把它写到 cache 里面去，对吧？嗯，所以就是，然后创建好以后的话呢，我们应该就去调 notification service，然后反馈给 user B，对吧？所以这什么，如果你去 work through 这个流程的话呢，这个时候你就会发现，好像在 high level design 里面，这个 notification 这个 service 好像是缺失的，而不是说我们到最后，对吧？我们才想起，好像是这个 notification 这个 service 我们在功能里面我们提到了，但是后来因为我们 QA 比较多，我们没有去讲了，对吧？这就为什么后来 high level design 你至少把这些 critical 的一些模块都把它 cover 好，比如 notification 这个 service 你就自己练在那里面了。这个接下来你在讲的时候，哪怕我问你问的很多，你也不会忘了这个点，这个点你会觉得这个点很重要如果有必要的话会做 deep dive，对吧？这也是其中的一点。这个第四点，这个我觉得没有必要去讲，这个可以要也可以不要，只要你讲的这个合理，我觉得都可以。第五点我刚才也讲过了对吧？刚刚应该是那个Lisa 同学吧，就是说很多东西我们没有必要一下就到 detail 里面去，因为你讲的太多的话，一个是言多必失，还有一个的话就是你讲多了以后其实没有 signal。这就为什么只要他问你一个问题， 你先很快 TLDR 把它给答了啊，然后就问他这个 make sense，如果他觉得 make sense，他可能会继续问，他觉得哪一点需要去 deep dive，他会继续问，或者他没有问了，那就 move forward 了，对吧？除非你对那个点真的很熟，你想去在那个地方 show off，然后 show off 很多你自己的这个industry 的经验，然后让这个面试官来 get 更多的一些 signal，那可以，那你可以去讲很 fancy 的地方，那个没有问题。但如果你真的不是那点不是特别熟，那最好就是 start from there 因为这个时候你再讲下去，可能更多会有 negative 的一些 point 出来，而不会有这个positive 的一些 signal 进去，好吧？OK，嗯，还有个 DB schema，因为怎么说呢？这个题真的是 DB 很重要，对吧？不像其他一些 backend service 的题，其实我在面试的时候，包括我面试别人，我基本上都不会让面试官或者不会让面试者，或者就是说我自己去写一些这个DB 的东西，或者是一些 API 的东西。我更多就是哎，从这个 DB 里面，我就跟你说一下，就像这个同学写那样，哎，有个 to do list，有个 to do item，还有一个 to do shell，我就把这些表列出来，对吧？里面那些什么 secondary 那个什么 index 啊，或者是其他一些 sharding index 那些东西啊，我一概都不会去讲包括里面有什么东西，有什么重要的一些属性的话呢，除非是有些特别重要的，我会把它列出来。比如说一些不重要的东西的话，我就不会去，比如说什么 create by 啊或者 update at 啊这种东西，我写都不会写，因为我觉得写的话，可能是一个是花时间，还有就是体验不了什么东西，对吧？首先我就会把这个表列出来。我的答案一般就是这样啊，就是说，哎，to do list table to do item table 或者就是说呢 permission 或者 to do shell table，对吧？把它 table 给列出来以后，我说我觉得就这三个 table，你问一下面试官，是不是这样 OK？面试官可能说，哎，没有问题，这三个可以，对吧？或者有些面试官说，哎，那这个三个 table 怎么去交互，对吧？那这个时候你就把一些交互的要用到的一些 key 把它列出来就行了。比如说这个 list ID key 这个没那么重要了，就是 list to do list 里面可能会有这个外键foreign key 跟这个 to do item 来进行交互的，这个 key 可能稍微列一下，对吧？嗯，然后主要是把一些重要的 key 列出来就行了。你也跟面试官也解释，你说这个 key 会特别多，这里面的一些数据库的一些属性会特别多，所以我只是列出一些我觉得重要的，还有一些就是说可能没有那么重要的话呢，我就不都列出来了。你只要这么去说，面试官都会去理解的，对吧？所以我是觉得这一点的话呢，我们可以做得更好，去省一些时间。因为其实我觉得你列这些点都很好，我觉得你列这些属性的话，其实比我想的更多，而且就是真的就是去实实在在去设计这样一个东西。但是面试是另外一个面试的话呢，我们体现 signal 就行。这些有些过于耗时间的东西的话呢，我们就尽量把它省掉，好吧？所以这也是 table 这方面的，包括那个 API 那个的话呢，其实我觉得这个是个 good point。这个 API 的话，你只是列了这几个在里面，对吧？我觉得这个挺好，你都没有展开讲，我就怕你展开讲。比如说你这个 create 里面这个是一个什么 RESTful API 呀、然后里面带个什么参数啊，把它发过去啊，怎么样怎么样，我就怕你这样去讲。这样去讲的话呢，基本上就是说我会打断你的或者就是说有些面试官不打断你，但有些面试官就觉得，哎，这个面试官基本上就这个面试者的话呢，我就基本上感觉他应该就是最多就 L5了。因为如果你想要面 L6的话呢，如果你展开去讲，那就说明你没有太多去 L6的东西去讲，对吧？一般 L6的话，它会有很多 deep dive 去讲，而且 API design 这个东西基本上它可能就没有 API design，就直接就讲这个 high level design 的时候的话呢，可能就在 go through 整个 workflow 的时候就把这些 API 给 go through 了，没有意思吧？但是我觉得这个同学这样做也是这样，这个是一个很好的地方，就是 API design 你可以放在里面，但是你写了几点重要的，哎，比如说 create update，哎，你好，这个时候你写完以后，你问一下面试官，哎，是不是这些 API 都够了，对吧？这个面试官 confirm 一下。所以说，我觉得这一点今天这个面试者是做的挺好的，这块没有耗费时间，而且吧也 to the point，对吧？当然说我刚刚说的那种，就是说你完全不讲也是可以接受的，除非是面试官问你，面试官问你，哎，有哪些 API，对吧？你能不能给我设计 API？那是另外一码事。但如果他没问你的话呢，你也可以写，也可以不写，对吧？但你这种做法是正确的。OK，呃，table 那一块的话，这一块是有些 improve 的，对吧？我刚刚已经讲过了，我就不讲了。嗯，我刚刚这一块这个点其实也是重复的地方，就是你在讲这个 table 的时候，然后就开始去讲这个乐观锁和悲观锁了，这是一个非常不好的一个信号，你明白我意思吗？因为这块其实不简单，乐观锁和悲观锁其实不简单，对吧？你要去讲这个东西，你稍微哪块讲的不好，可能就会被面试官给 challenge， 对吧？所以这个时候，除非面试官就是 specific 问你，这里面可能会有一些 locking 的东西在，或者就是说有些 version 的东西在，你怎么去做，对吧？那个时候你可能说，哎，我们不想这个，真正去做这个 data 一个 locking 的话呢，会比较 expensive，所以我们可能会考虑使用什么乐观锁或者悲观锁来做这样一个事情，或者使用这个 version 来控制，对吧？这应该是在他问你的时候才去讲啊。如果只要他没问你，你绝对不要抛出这样一个话题，抛这样话题真的只有坏处没有好处，而且你这块你很难讲得很清楚，对吧？所以为什么我跟你说了，这个首先就是说这个 table 讲 table 的时候，这个 table 一些详细的属性就不用去讲了。你讲了这些详细属性以后，你还讲 version，这个 version 其实我讲这个 table 过程中的话，我是让你去讲，因为我没有去打断你，我就看你会讲多少。但你后来居然就给我讲了这个乐观锁和悲观锁了，我是没有去 challenge 你这个问题啊。当时我是觉得这一块的话呢，有点多，有点多了啊。这块你再讲下去，真的就是会讲出问题的，好吧？所以为什么我跟你说，你讲3个 table 名字，讲基本的一些属性，把 workflow 搞清楚就够了。其他问题的话，就是不要给自己找麻烦，好吧？然后接下来这一点的话呢，接下来只是一个，这个跟面试没关系跟这位面试者面试没有关系，就是说一定要注意，你在面 infra 面 backend service 的时候，一定要注意，就是这个 cache 是肯定要去讲的啊。所以说你最好在这个 high level design 的时候就把 cache 加进去。如果 high level design 没有，你接下来也要自己主动去讲 cache 这个东西，因为 cache 的话是少不了的，而且很多地方 cache 的话是有多级的 cache。比如 database 层有 cache，对吧？request，比如说 MySQL 那一层也是一个 cache，那是一个 request 一个 cache，对吧？各个方面都可能会有 cache，所以这个话题就是说，你就记在那里面，就相当于是，就比如说我们这个出门有几个事情，对吧？伸手要钱，对吧？钱是钱包，对吧？手是手机，啊、伸手要还有什么？要是钥匙吧，对吧？是什么？反正就是这个意思，就是你要记住有几个点：cache、fault tolerance、sharding 这几个东西是你必须得去讲的除非是没有时间，不然的话这几个点你一定要注意，一定要去尽量去 cover，这个才能体现出 high level 的一些东西，好吧？比如说一个系统，只要你没讲到 fault tolerance，没讲到 sharding 或可能是因为时间不够但是如果是因为时间不够，也可能是因为这个过程你没 drive 好，对吧？因为这些 signal 是很重要的。比如说你去怎么去 handle fault tolerance 啊？就举个例子，你写 C 加加代码，任何人都可以把 C 加加代码写好，当你遇到问题以后，遇到一个 crash，遇到 code dump 以后，你能不能很好把那个 debug 出来？这才是体现出一个资深 C 加加工程师的一个能力，对吧？举个例，这个 high level design 和整个system design 大家都可以做好，但是区分他们的地方的话呢，就是你怎么去设计 fault tolerance，不同的人不同级别，他设计 fault tolerance 这个方式是不一样的，他设计 sharding 的方式也不一样，cache 机制可能也不一样。很多人可能就想，哎，我这里可能需要 cache 什么的，但是有些人可能就是说，从一个大系统去讲，我需要几层 cache，哪些地方需要 cache，对吧？我首先是讲这样一个东西，但具体 cache 使用什么东西的话呢，这个反而没那么重要。除非面试官问你，哎，你是使用 Redis 还是使用什么其他 cache？这个时候你再去找他一下，哎，我可能更偏向于 Redis，我分析一下，对吧？但是如果你能从几个级别来讲，哎，我们这里面需要这样一个 cache，那边需要那个 cache，你能把这个讲得清楚的话，那就说明你是真正做过大系统的，考虑过大东西的。这个才是那种真正的 industry 实践经验里面带来的东西，而是这种就是说你去准备，就只是去看这些 system design 这些书，这个准备的话呢，你可能是达不到那个要求的，好吧？但是我觉得我提到这一点的话，我希望大家就是说，如果有针对性、系统性准备的话呢，也能准备到让面试官觉得你做过这个东西。OK，然后这是3点还有一点就是 Q 这个东西其实也应该是伸手要钱那4部分里面的就是 cache、FT、sharding。Q 这个东西的话，有些地方可能不适用，但是呢，这个点需要在你的 mind 里面。面试之前的话，你需要知道这几个点，你可能会去讲，包括 Q 这个东西、MySQL 这个东西，我觉得绝大部分系统里面都可能会用到啊。我刚刚说这个，除非是那种，比如说你要做一个聊天系统，做一个 WeChat 或做一个 Slack 那种消息需要实时返回，对吧？那个时候你需要 set up 一个 WebSocket，真正的 WebSocket 两边的 WebSocket 的一个这样的一个dedicate 的一个连接来做交互，这样的消息的话就会实时到达，对吧？但是大部分这种任务机制的 你都可以把它归类到 job scheduler 里面。也有一个很经典的一个题叫 job scheduler，对吧？只要是这种你创建一个东西，而且嗯，创建一个任务，创建一个 item 或创建任何东西，它都是创建一个 task，对吧？它创建一个 task 的话呢，你就可以把它放到一个 MySQL 里面去做一个 async，对吧？尤其当你创建一个东西里面涉及到一个多媒体的情况里面的话呢，那就更加需要一个 async，而且可能还需要几层 async。比如说 media 那块可能要单独一个服务器，单独一个服务，比如说 media upload 那个东西来做，对吧？upload 到 S3 以后，它给你返回，然后到时候你再写到数库里面去，对吧？这你不需要讲这么细啊，我只是举个例子，就是说 Q 这个东西，我说 System Design 可能80%-90%的 System Design 都会用到 MySQL。如果你发现你没用到 MySQL，High Level 里面没有 MySQL，你应该去想方设法把 MySQL 给放进去啊。但是你放进去的时候，你可能稍微得提一下，你不要直接放进去啊。你说这个东西我们可以采用 Synchronous 方式去做，也可以采用 Asynchronous 方式去做，但是考虑到，哎，我们这个系统可能是偏 Job 的那种方式啊，而不是那种偏 Chart 的那种实时那种方式，所以我觉得这个 MySQL 是有好处大于坏处的。只要这么去说就行了，可能你打可能就2分钟就行了，对吧？而不是说你比如去 dig into，哎，我们选用什么 SQL，这就是为什么说这几个点啊，这个 cache、FT、sharding 和 Q，这基本就是你出门的时候伸手要钱，好吧？这几个点是一定要注意在你的头脑里面，就是说你面试的时候你发现没有用上，那可能这就是一个不好的一个 signal，好吧？嗯，这一点的话呢，其实也是一个跟这个本次面试没有特别大的关系啊，就是整个的就是面试很重要的一个点，一定要注意，讲了一段以后要 pause 啊，然后跟 interview confirm 啊，跟这个面试官 confirm 啊，然后就是这样保证你在一个 right direction，也能够保证你能够把这个面试官的一个attention，把它 track 到你身上来，所以这一点是非常非常重要的。一定不要哎自己就讲了很多，讲得很深，讲得很多，但是面试官可能并不 care，所以说你可能就讲了2分钟，先来个 TLDR，跟面试官confirm 一下啊，然后面试官如果真的觉得有必要 deep dive，你 deep dive 可能需要讲10分钟啊，可能需要讲8分钟，那你讲的话，你可能讲个3分钟以后，哎，你也去 confirm 一下，你觉得这个有没有问题，对吧？没有问题的话，你就如果面试官觉得你 continue 的话，你就继续 continue，对吧？所以这个交互非常非常非常重要，这样能帮助你省时间啊。还有就是保证这个面试官的话呢，确定你在讲他感兴趣的一些东西，好吧？如果面试官真的不感兴趣的话，可能就说，哎，我们就 move on，因为我还有更感兴趣的地方，在另外一个地方我要来问你，好吧？所以说这个非常非常重要，嗯。这一点的话，就 notification 是比较重要的。这个的话，就是说，因为我们在 high level design 里面没有这个模块，如果我们在 high level design 的时候，把所有的这个功能点过一遍，你就会发现 notification 这个东西其实是缺失的，对吧？这个时候你就把它加进去。你加进去的话，你到最后的话，哎，你可能先简单带过一下，我面试官很感兴趣啊，你就再详细讲。说实话，notification 对这个系统非常重要啊，很多面试官可能就考这个题就是为了考 notification 啊，这个是有可能的。所以这一点也是一个点。嗯，这一点呢，其实这个面试官刚刚提到了一个，面试者提到了一个 exactly once，一定要注意，就是有一些特别难的东西，比如说这个 Kafka 的 exactly once 那个东西就能聊你很久，对吧？只要涉及到 exactly once 这个东西其实很难答。你提到这个话题，有些面试官可能就真的 serious 问你，你怎么做到 exactly once？这个题的话，就基本就可以把你难住。而且这个话题可能就让你聊1个小时都有可能，对吧？而且聊1个小时可能聊不到任何东西，对吧？所以一定要注意这种话题，千万不要自己抛出来啊。比如这个时候你可以去讲，哎，这个 notification 什么什么什么，对吧？你可以说这个 notification 的话呢，我们觉得，好像 at least once 就可以了，可能这个在很大的 scale 里面环境里面可能会有些 duplicate，但是呢，我们尽量去做at least once。如果实在有一些 duplicate 的话的话，其实也是可以接受的。我们尽量从这个系统角度去把它做到 at least one 就行了，对吧？这个时候其实非常合理的，因为这个 scenario 的话，你不需要做 exactly once。如果你提到 exactly once 的话，这个面试官可能就会 seriously 去问你这个问题。只要你不提到，只要 make sense，面试官绝对不会去为难你去讲 exactly once，因为大家都知道这个东西真的很难讲，这个东西很难做，对吧？OK，还有最后一点的话就是这个 WebSocket 的 HTTP，这一点其实也是非常非常重要的。尤其是对这样一个系统我觉得这个东西不需要花很多时间去讲。就举个例子， 你做一个 WeChat，做一个聊天系统，那个肯定得用 WebSocket，对吧？因为它需要实时的去反馈，也就是用户真正的要去 connect 到某一个 server，每个用户可能连到一个 server 或连到不同的 server，然后各个 server 之间来进行通信，然后把你消息实时给反馈回来，所以这个地方就必须得用 WebSocket。当然，我们设计这个系统呢，这个 To Do List 这个系统的话呢，我觉得这个面试者说的是有道理的。哎，我们可能用 HTTP 就行了，因为说的简单一点，就是说这个 HTTP 我们就直接可以把这个任务把它放到这个 code 里面去了，对吧？我们就放完以后，我们就返回了，然后用户到时候这个处理完了以后的话，他才会反馈回来，对吧？啊，这个都可以，所以说这个 HTTP 应该是没有问题的，对吧？那就是我觉得这个话题的话，应该提前抛出来啊。就不是说等到最后的话呢，我再来问你这个一点，对吧？因为这一点其实也很重要，就是WebSocket 和 HTTP 的话，这两种方式的话会决定你这个系统怎么去设计，对吧？就是说，如果你 WebSocket 的话呢，那你一开始就讲 WebSocket 的话呢，你后面这个 message queue 的话呢，可能就没那么重要了，或者说你引入 message queue 的话呢，你会去想，好像 WebSocket 也没那么重要，对吧？没那么没 WebSocket 好像就是说呃这个跟你的 Q 的使用会有一些冲突，是吧？所以这些话题的话，应该也得提前抛出来。所以我练了这么多啊，就这些东西我说了，这个地方其实很多是一些我是给大家来讲的跟有些东西可能跟整个面试没有很大关系所以也希望大家的话就是说从我讲这些东西里面呢，能够挑出一些自己适用的，不一定每一点都对大家适用，但你可以挑一些对自己适用的，因为面试官他的 style 会很多种，对吧？但是呢，一定要注意就是尽量体现更多 signal，而不是给自己找麻烦，好吧？行我讲的比较多然后大家还有其他问题吗？OK最后的话呢，因为大家还可以提问就是说最后我把这个 criteria 大概讲一下，这块我可能就不写了我稍微写几点吧，就是说首先从这个 L7的这个角度的话呢，我期待什么东西呢？我期待的话就是说你把前面的都 drive 很好了另外的话呢，你能够更多体现一些这个呃怎么说呢？我在想就是说，你在这里面能更加 cover 一些切换能够更多体现一些 project 的一些 management 和and execution 的东西。比如说你这个项目比较大，对吧？那这里面的话就涉及到很多东西你可以去讲一下你这个怎么去 handle 这样一个 project，就是在某个块你提到，可能也会问你可能这个面试官也会问你，这里面可能体现一些 project management 的 execution，尤其是一些 cross team 的一些东西。嗯，这个应该是在 L7里面的话，肯定要考虑到这一块。比如他也会去问你这个 team 有多大，对吧？就是说怎么去比如说这个任务的话，比如一些 deep dive 的一些东西，这一块比较复杂，你怎么去做？要做的话呢，会不会涉及到多个 team 这些东西？所以说 L7的话会有很多 soft skill 的一些东西。嗯，然后在 L6的话呢，其实有一点我刚刚 test 了这个 candidate，嗯，就是我发现没有收集到太多 L6的系统，比如说这个 multi region 这一块，对吧？就是多 region，尤其任何一个系统的话，都会涉及到多 region 的问题这一块我觉得可能如果你不是特别懂的话呢，你可能也很难去把这块 cover 的很好，对吧？所以这就是一个不错的一个 L6的一个系统比如说你要做聊天系统或者聊什么系统的话，你这个你肯定会涉及到 multi region，不同的用户在不同的地方，有些用户在 US，有的地方在中国，对吧？这个多 region 之间的一个 latency 怎么去弄，对吧？这个东西如果你做过实际系统的话呢，你可能主动会讲这一块，因为这块其实做起来会比较复杂，而且这块是能够让面试官知道，哎，你对这块确实比较懂的。呃，我觉得就是说这个 L5的话呢，就是你整个 high level design 还有 design 没有问题，对吧？还有就是 deep dive specific 的 deep dive 没有问题。 L6的话更多是一些有一些 proactive 的一些东西，就是有些 multi region 可能需要你自己去讲。但是 L5的话，那些 deep dive 的东西的话，都是在你 high level 一些module 里面都已经列出来了。只要面试官问你哪些 deep dive，你都能把它做好，其实你就达到 L5了。如果你很多 deep dive 都做得很好，面试官可能觉得你可能是一个 strong 的 L5，或者就是一个 L6的一个 candidate，对吧？啊、但是就是说，我 L6的话就希望你自己这个 drive 的很好，也就是时间用也用的很好，而且你还有时间来讨论一些这种 advanced 一些话题，这样的话你的 L6的一些信号就非常明显了，对吧？嗯L6的话还有一些就是你要体现出自己在某一块的 domain expert，就是如果你真正在哪一块做过，你就那一块去讲的很深入，然后结合真正的 industry experience。L5的话呢，就是说你 deep dive 的时候可能不一定需要这个 industry experience，但是 L6的话呢，我觉得面试官基本上都是期待有的，哪怕你没有，我刚才也说过了，就是说你要准备的时候尽量去把它变成自己的东西，这样的话呢就会这个东西说实话呢，就是说是有些 tricky 啊，就是你没有的话呢，没有这个 signal 的话呢，这个时候对你面试可能会不会就是说很难拿到一个 strong 的一个 help，对吧？但如果你有的话呢，你可能会有一个这样的一个 help，对吧？所以为什么我觉得东西的话，就是有时候你可以去多学习，然后把一些东西真正的就是把这些东西，把有些东西和自己做过的东西结合起来，然后变成自己的东西。你这样去讲的话呢，可能让面试官会眼前一亮，这个人好像真的做过这个系统，对吧？所以这个 L6的这个东西，L6的话现在就是 drive 一些 advanced 一些话题，同时的话呢，在某些 deep dive 和领域里面呢，能够体现出自己的 industry experience，这就是 L6和 L5的一个最大一个区别。L7的话呢，就相当于是这个，你可能从一个更大的一个视角，对吧？我可以这么说吧，就是从一个 broad view 来考虑这样一个东西，对吧？就是你在讲这个系统的时候的话呢，其实你已经考虑到这个系统以一个更大的一个 picture 来考虑然后同时的话呢，你也能 cover 到这种呃，比如说 master region 是其中一方面，比如说你还能 除了 master region 以外，你还能 cover 到更多的其他一些 advanced 的东西，你可以去讨论，对吧？这也是很好的一个信号然后另外的话，你就是体现出自己的 soft skills，就是 L7的话，其实有些是 hard skills，有些是 soft skills，对吧？但是你的眼界肯定要体现出来，跟其他不一样。因为 L6的话，更多是一个 domain 的一个 expert，L7的话，基本上可能是一到两个 domain，或者就是说它能够去 drive 一个很大的一个系统，在各个 team 之间来完成。L6的话，更多是我带5、6个人，能够把一个大的系统从 proposal 到 design 到 implementation，然后把它做完。L7的话，就相当于我可能能带十几20个人，对吧？然后跨不同的领域，我能够把这个项目给 deliver 出来，对吧？所以这是 L6、L7一个最大的一个区别。L5和 L6的区别，这个也非常明显，对吧？就 L5的话，更多就是期待你把这个系统 design 好，该 deep dive 都能 deep dive 好，对吧？但 L6的话，这个就是你真的就是需要自己的 domain 的 knowledge 了。L4的话呢，这个我就不写了，大家也知道，L4的话基本就是 high level design 你只要做好了，对吧？deep dive 那一块的话，其实嗯，你不用 cover 太多，可能面试官也不会 deep dive 很多。但比如面试官如果 deep dive 一个的话呢，你基本上答的差不多就行了，也不一定真正要懂那一块，对吧？就差不多就行了，就这意思。嗯，行，那这个就是我今天分享的内容大家还有其他问题吗？行，那今天我们讨论比较长了，行，好，谢谢各位，好吧，再见。